What's up, gaming heroes, and welcome back to another awesome episode of the Gaming Hero podcast. Today, I have the wonderful All Things Nerd. Am I okay to call you Nathan?
Yeah, absolutely. Call me Nate, Nathan, All Things Nerd, ATN.
ATN, All
whatever
Things
best.
Nerd, whatever you like. Thank you so much for joining me today, dude. I really appreciate your time and you just being so willing to jump on and get involved in these awesome and fun projects that we're doing.
Yes, and I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I did not expect this interview at all, so this is really fun and cool. So thank you.
I've got a confession for you, Nathan, and that is I've only got 9 people with the bell turned on YouTube, and you are one of them, my friend. And it's not just because I like
That's
you as a
okay.
person, it's because your content is freaking awesome and it always captures my attention. It's unique,
Thank you.
it's special, and it's not just a copy of everyone else. And I absolutely love what you do. So could you do us a favor and just introduce yourself a little bit? And yeah, tell us what you do on YouTube and what your channel's all about and what you're trying to do.
Yeah, so my name is Nathan. I'm 30 years old. I live over in the Bay Area of California. I'm over here in the United States, and I've been playing World of Warcraft for ever since I was really young. And a lot of people think I'm actually new to the game just because of the way that I talk in my videos, because I don't know how to pronounce things properly and stuff. So that always kind of makes me laugh. But I've been playing since early days of vanilla. I was just a kid when I first started. My older brother actually was the one who introduced me into the game. And so I owe all the credit to him. I wouldn't be here playing the game if it wasn't for him. So thank you, Michael, for getting me into World of Warcraft. And something cool about that, he actually participated in the original beta back in the day. And kind of a funny story, he actually had a full paid ticket to go to BlizzCon because he participated in the beta, but he was getting married. So his wife didn't want to go
No
to the
way.
honeymoon. So she was like, no, we're not doing our honeymoon at
Dude.
BlizzCon. So I always thought that was kind of funny. I always tell that story,
That's a
whether he
hard
likes me
one,
to tell it or
dude.
not.
What do you
That is a hard
choose?
one.
You're like
What do you do?
honeymoon or Blizzard?
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
exactly.
baby, but I'm going to Blizzard.
So I always want to tell that story. But yeah, I've been playing since I was really young. And I tell people, though, I've been playing since Cataclysm because when I was really young, I didn't know what I was doing. So I played in Vanilla, I played in Burning Crusade, I played in Wrath of the Lich King, but I had no idea what I was doing. I was just a young kid. I was just doing quests and spending all my gold at the auction house. And then when I became a teenager, I really started getting into Cataclysm. And I knew I always wanted to do something in front of a camera, like whether it be recording or doing a podcast or doing a YouTube channel. I was always really an imaginative mind growing up. So it was easy for me to always come up with different ideas and think, oh, what if I invent this or what if I do this? And so that's what kind of got me into doing the whole like entertainment thing, I guess you could say. And so we have to go way back. So when I was around 19 something years old, I started a podcast called Legit Game Reviewers. And so I ran that for a couple of years with a friend of mine and my older brother and his brother. And then after that, everybody kind of went their own ways. And then I got into YouTube, and then we rebranded to All Things Nerd. And I thought we didn't really have a direction. We didn't know where we wanted to go. I've been doing YouTube for like 9 years now. I hate to admit that because my channel just now started, getting some traction, and I'm so blessed for that. And I don't mean that in a wrong way at all. I want to say thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. But we didn't really have a direction, and so we just threw out random content. We would do gameplay videos of video games. We would do movie reviews, TV shows, whatever we could do to kind of find our way and on YouTube.
Yeah, find your
and then
niche.
eventually, yeah. And then I used to do YouTube with a buddy of mine. His name was Caleb. You might see him in some of my older videos. We actually started the channel together, but he kind of went off and did his own thing, and he really wasn't super interested in YouTube. And he's more into like photography and stuff like that, and that's cool. Like he's got to follow his passion and do his thing, and so I just continued, kept uploading, and I'm like, you know what? If the channel takes off, takes off. It doesn't, it doesn't. And so we had a few hits. Actually, one of my earliest videos was League of Legends, believe it or not. I had a review of like How to Jungle. Went really well, and then I had a couple Scream videos. I'm a big horror fan, so I love Scream. That's like my favorite scary movie of all time. So I did a couple of Scream videos, and then those did really well. And then after that, kind of just nothing. So I got a big inspiration from the other guys who used to come before me, and I pay a lot of respect to them. So a lot of you remember Haven Games. You know, he was really big in the community in OOB. Rest in peace to him. I know he's no longer with us, but he is a big inspiration. Hidden Azeroth was really big. Heels versus Babyface. A lot of people probably remember him, and he's still active on YouTube.
I used to watch him all the time, dude.
Me too.
He started to become like a React content creator, didn't he?
Yeah, he's kind of gotten away from World of Warcraft, and he's doing other games now and stuff. So I haven't watched him in a while. I should definitely check him out.
You know what? It was something you said which was really interesting to me. You've been doing YouTube for 9 years, and you feel like your channel's just started to kind of go, which is amazing. But I want to let you know, I've been doing YouTube since I was 15 years old, and I'm 31.
Wow.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'm on board with you 100%. Just because it takes a long time for your channel to grow a little bit doesn't mean you haven't had success. Your channel is a massive success already. So you should be really, really proud of what you created, because your content is unique. And I mean, honestly, it's so easy to grow on YouTube. You could just copy the biggest and best performing videos over and over again, and then you'll get loads of views. But you haven't chosen to do that. You have chosen to create unique content that no one else has done. And people are loving your channel as a result of that. It screams authenticity. And that's one of the things I absolutely love about you as a creator, is you're so authentic and so down to earth. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And that means the world to me. I wouldn't be here without everybody in the community. And actually, so I didn't originally plan to do World of Warcraft content. And so getting inspiration from those people that came before. And also, I don't know if you've heard of Game Uncrafter. He kind of does some OOB stuff too. And all those guys have been a big inspiration to me. So I was like, you know what? Why can't I do my own OOB content and make it different? You know, because a lot of times when people do OOB content, they just do kind of like highlight videos. Hey, today we're going to see this. And it's like 6 to 7, 8 video long. But I'm like, I want to do a whole OOB, give my commentary while I'm doing it, and just make it chill and relaxing and put some music over it. And
your channel,
what I'm seeing as I'm walking.
Your channel is so much more like explorative. You know, it's more of like, hey, I'm new to this. I'm doing this. I'm taking this journey. Join me for the journey. And that's what I quite like. It's not like, oh, hey, I found this. Look how awesome I am. Like, you know, it's like we are going around this place and we're going to see where our curiosity takes us. And I quite like that. You are almost an audience member yourself. And you're like, you're doing what we want you to do, you know?
Yes. And it's very special because what's kind of funny is I told people maybe I should be in something different, like voice acting or something, because you don't know how many comments I've gotten from people being like, hey, don't take this in a wrong way, but I like fell asleep to your video because I love your voice. And I'm like, okay, that's so random, but people love my voice. Apparently that's like a big hit of the channel. And they just think I have a good voice to listen to, and they think it's relaxing. So I'm like, not trying to stay humble because I'm not trying to make myself proud or anything.
Part of being a YouTuber is having a good voice, right? You got to have a good voice.
Yes, yeah, and that's important. And so my first OOB video was actually doing.
Sorry, can I just interrupt you just 1 second? Can you explain to the audience? What OOB is? Out of bounds content, right? So
yeah.
So can you explain what that is in a nutshell for anyone that's not seen your content before, has no idea who you are, and that type of thing?
Yeah, so OOB, as you said, stands for out of bounds. Basically, you have, so in video games, you have what's like, you have your map, and you have like invisible walls that basically keep you inside the map. So when a creator makes a map, you're not supposed to see what's outside. You're just supposed to see what they're showing you. So it's like a big smoke and mirrors effect, right? So basically what I do is, and I have a community on ATN and Discord, we basically get together and we get outside the map. So we essentially break and glitch the game to where we're able to get out the boundaries of the map so we can see the unedited, untextured, un developed part of the game, if that makes sense, because you're only supposed to see what Blizzard wants you to see. And I say this very hastily because Blizzard doesn't like this stuff. I haven't personally gotten in trouble yet, knock on wood for this, but there's been so many other people that have done this. But I've been the first one to show like a ton of dungeons that have never been done, raids and stuff like that. So that's unique for me. But that's basically OOB in a nutshell. It's just showing like the undeveloped side of World of Warcraft. Like, but what's fun, what I love about OOB so much is that it's a new adventure every single time. You know, you don't know what you're gonna find outside the walls of the boundaries of the game. Like what Blizzard has hit outside the walls or what they've put outside of there. Like for instance, one of my favorite videos was the Spires of Iraq, that dungeon in Draenor.
Yep.
I love that dungeon because outside there's actually a hidden gnome, like a test gnome, like NPC just standing out there. It's just standing still. It's frozen in time. It doesn't move, but it's just cool to find little things like that.
Yeah.
And so you never know, you're gonna find like these little treasures outside the map. And I wish Blizzard would embrace the OB community more because I get why they don't like it, but at the same time, it'd be kind of cool if they were like, okay, break our game and we're gonna put little things outside the map for you to find. Like, I don't know, I just wish they would embrace it more.
I think I have to agree with you that they're in part, but I think it really comes down to how the person approaches it, because your content, you're quite like friendly, you're quite like open. Oh, this is what I did to get this.
I try to be.
You're so honest and like you wear your heart on your sleeve, so to speak, when it comes to your content, right? But not all OOB kind of creators are like that. You do get people who are very critical of Blizzard, kind of like in a way that isn't needed, doesn't help the content or anything like that. And I can kind of understand why Blizzard approaches it like that. But
I understand,
ultimately,
absolutely.
you are helping them find problems with the game and polish the game even further. So they should really embrace it in that regard. And I imagine if they kind of got to know one of you a bit better, they probably would, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think it'd be really awesome if like a dream job of mine, if they hired me to like break their game, like be like a game tester and just try to get out of bounds. Hey, there's a glitch here. You might want to patch this, or hey,
can you imagine that job interview? It's like,
what's up?
Can you imagine that job interview? Like,
oh, that would be so cool.
So what are you going to do to break our game this year?
And I could show them all my content. Hey, I have history of already breaking your game, so hire me and I'll be your guys' like game tester.
It's like, I'm doing it for free. All I'm asking is you start to pay me to keep doing what I'm already doing.
Yes. Yeah, and it's so much fun, man. And I've had the best time doing it, and it's been great. And but yeah, I love it so much. And so that's OOB in a nutshell, basically.
Awesome. So. Well, I've got a few member questions for basically, we tell our Gaming Hero members from gaminghero.io what guest we are going to be speaking to each week, and we give them the chance to basically ask some questions ahead of schedule so that we can basically answer the questions that are burning to them. And we've got some questions for you. Do you mind if I ask you them?
Yeah, absolutely. Fire away.
So, the first question was, what made you specifically break out into World of Warcraft as your main game to record content on?
So, honestly, before World of Warcraft, I didn't really know what direction I wanted to go. And one day I decided to film my first OOB video. I'm like, you know what? Let's post the first video. Let's see how it goes. It did pretty well. It got like almost 500-600 views. And that was pretty good for a small channel. I mean, I was still under 1,000 subscribers then. I think only at like 700-800. So I was just getting up there. But the reason I picked World of Warcraft was, well, I've always loved World of Warcraft. Ever since I was young, I've had a big like passion for it. And it's the biggest MMO out there. I mean, everybody's tried to top and be the WoW killer. So I knew I wanted to always do some sort of World of Warcraft content, but I didn't know what. The second thing was after I made my video, the first video did well. So I'm like, you know what? Let's see where this goes. Why not? And I'm just going to put my own spin on things. So I did another video and it hit off. And I was like, all right, I think we got something here. And I love exploring. I love, ever since I was young, I love doing glitches and breaking out of games and stuff like that. So I always kind of had a thing for it anyway. So I thought, you know what? Why not try it with World of Warcraft? There's other people that have done it. They've been successful. Why not try to do it myself and put my own spin on things and make it my own content? And that's kind of how I got started. It was just, that's what I wanted to do. So and then I've kind of just stuck with it.
So how long have you been playing then? So you say you've been playing quite a long time.
Yeah.
Have you been playing since when Stormwind Gates, you didn't used to be able to get on top of them without glitch jumping? Do you remember?
Yes. So I even remember as a kid getting under Stormwind when you do, jump on top of the torch and you fall through the map.
And jump in the corner and they just fell through.
Yes.
Did you do the jump up this side of the mountain to get onto Stormwind Gates before they changed the Stormwind Gates?
I'm sure I tried. I don't remember actually ever getting up there. But I'm sure as a kid I tried to do everything, and maybe I did it. I just don't remember. It's been so long.
Dude, that was like one of my favorites because it was so hard to do. Like no one could do it, and then they just randomly changed Stormwind like Gates for no reason, and we were like.
And I remember doing that, and also doing the old Ironforge where you could get under there. I could also do the Ironforge Airport. I remember getting on top of there as well. So I remember doing all the old stuff.
Did you do
all the old stuff that you could do?
Did you do Karazhan?
Never did Karazhan.
No, the smiley face, dude. There's a smiley face.
I know, but I do have a video of Karazhan now on the channel, so I did go back when I'm an adult. But when I was young, I never did Karazhan.
Okay, right. Follow-up question. Mm-hmm. What is the most insane and exciting thing you've done with your content and your specifically out-of-bound content?
Ooh. I think starting, I know this is going to sound weird, but starting a OOB community on Discord, that's probably been the biggest thing for me. And sometimes I get emotional talking about it because without that community, I wouldn't be where I am today. Without having people to be there and to support me in what I'm doing and be like, hey, Nathan, we're here with you. We're going to support you no matter how big you get, how small you are. We're going to help you find content and get out of bounds. And every single video I've done, I always give credit to the person that finds it. So something kind of funny. Me and my buddy of mine on YouTube, on Discord, his name is Hero. I always talk about him a lot. He has helped me a ton break out of the game. And me and him have this bounty list of, we call it a bounty. So we put bounties on every single dungeon and raid in the game. We said, okay, whoever breaks out of the dungeon or the raid gets the bounty. So we're kind of competing. So he has like a ton of bounties. I have a ton of bounties, and he's always beating me. But fun stuff like that. Just being able to connect with people all around the world online and create a community of like doing out of bounds content, but sharing World of Warcraft with them has just been an overall joy. And it's been a joy for me because I remember growing up playing so much World of Warcraft with my younger brother and my older brother who got me into the game, and I miss those times. So I never really had anybody to play with, but now I got this whole community to play with that it's just been a huge blessing, and that's been the biggest thing for me. That's a huge joy in my life, like being able to have a community of people to do this with. Like you can't ask for more in the world.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. That's awesome. It's really heartwarming. People, by the way, will make sure that all of Nathan's socials and everything will be in the description. So if you want to check out that Discord, if you want to join his community, if you want to just connect with him, subscribe to him, everything, and I mean everything, is in the description. But yes, let's carry on with the more questions. What is your content schedule like? How long do you spend actually figuring out what video you want to record, and like how much goes into breaking the game for you for a video?
Oh gosh. Okay. So my schedule is kind of all over the place. I tried to set a set schedule a couple months back, and I was like, hey everybody, I'm going to start uploading every Tuesday and Thursday. And then I would upload a random video on Friday, or I'd upload a random video on Monday. So I would just upload these random videos. And so I kind of broke my own schedule. So I don't really have an upload schedule right now. I'm starting to do something new where I just introduced memberships to the channel. So members will get the video every like Tuesday early, and then after 3 days, it will go public to everybody else on out of private. So I'm gonna start doing that and see how that goes. So I'll upload a video Tuesday, and then it will be public on Friday. So I'll see how that goes. Just to give my members something early to watch, and then everybody else can watch it as well. Sorry, what was the other question? I'm kind of off track here.
How much time goes into each of your videos, figuring out how to break the game, basically?
So I kind of choose different days. So like I had mentioned before, I have like a team of people on the ATN Discord where they've really helped me break out of things. So basically we've broken out of every single dungeon and raid already. And so I have videos lined up for future to come. And I want to thank them so much. So I have like a backlog of videos I could record, and I just got to remember how to do the glitch. But it takes some time. Like for instance, me and Hero just broke out of Dawn of the Infinite. That took us roughly around a couple months to try to figure out. So some of the content can be really quick. Some of it can take longer. The only reason some of it can take longer is because raids don't allow you to use toys and stuff in the raid. So when you're in a regular dungeon, for say, like an instance, you can use toys, no matter what, and that helps you break out easy. But the problem is with the raids, you can't use any of that stuff. So you got to break out either with just the Demon Hunter, jumping ability, or you got to just fly out of the map. So that can take months to find out, or weeks, I mean. But some people are so good, like, Hero or the other people on the team, that they find this stuff quickly, and they'll just spend a couple of days just sitting in the dungeon trying to break out, or the raid or whatever. So I really, really just want to thank them so much, because they've been such a big blessing in helping me break out of the maps and stuff. So some of it can take a long time. Some of it can be kind of short. It just depends on the raid and how easy it is to break out. I have noticed Blizzard has gotten smarter as the expansions have gone on. So in early dungeons, super easy to break out of. Really, no death walls exist, and you can just get out. More like future content, like Dragonflight and all that. Death walls everywhere. Especially in Warlords of Draenor.
Is that like just what you walk into it and it kills you?
Yeah. So when you break out of a map, there's specific triggers that if you hit, it will just kill you instantly. Or if you get stuck in a certain place, you'll DC. You'll be in like a constant DC loop, and you'll have to open a Blizzard support ticket, and you'll literally have to get your person unstuck that way. And there's nothing else you can do. So, but thank God there's no more like active GMs anymore. So everything's automated. So what's cool is if you click, the support, you can go into the character unstuck, and then if you get your character unstuck, you have to wait 4 hours to get them unstuck again. So yeah, it can be a pain, and sometimes it sucks because you'll be doing a dungeon and you'll get really far in, and you'll like fall or something, and you'll get in a DC loop, and you got to use your unstuck and restart again. So those are like the two most common things you got to watch out for. And also another thing is if you're doing an OOB, and you have like the boundary wall set up, so like eventually you'll hit what's called the edge of the map where the development stopped. And so like there's nothing out there anymore. Like you'll see like water usually outside, but there's like a giant invisible wall. If you jump into that wall, your dude will get stuck and he'll just keep flying like in an animation, like a flying animation. So you either have to Infernal Strike out with the Demon Hunter or Metamorphosis out, and that's the only way you can usually get out. Or you'll just be stuck, and then you got to use another support ticket. So those are like 3 things you got to watch out for that really suck.
That's
so there
crazy.
Are dangerous stuff to this.
Can you imagine like Blizzard, like if they wanted to track down the Out of Bounds players, they could just see who was doing the character like unstuck the most. Like, and then they just be like,
absolutely,
oh, it's you. You're the Out of Bounds guy. I found
honestly,
you.
I'm surprised I haven't been flagged in the game. Like, in a bunch of I'm really shocked Blizzard doesn't have me on like a watch list on like their game or something, because I've used the unstuck so much. So but I just think they just don't really care. I think if you're doing older content, they don't really care. But I will warn everybody, there is always a risk to doing this. So if you're going to do this, do it carefully. Make sure you know have fun with it, but don't do live. Try to avoid live and future content because I've had people where they've literally got into things early, like expansions. So, like for instance, I don't know if you remember Azamon Gold, one of his favorite videos. He got into the Shadowlands early. I've known people that have done that. So they've literally got into future content before it was even released, and that's where Blizzard will put the ban hammer down. So you got to be careful doing this stuff. But older content, I don't think they care as much because it's like it's been around for so long. What are people going to see? Some square boxes outside the map? You know, I don't think they care. So just be careful doing it.
Wow, dude, that sounds like pretty crazy. That does sound
Yeah.
pretty crazy. What's the first thing you like actually found, like out of bounds wise, like for YouTube?
The first thing was my first video I ever did, which was the what was it? The Culling of Stratholme in the Caverns of Time. So that was my first ever video I did. And when I jumped out of bounds, I discovered like this pink, we call it like the pink textured box. Have you seen those? Like a textured pink box with like black squares on it. That was like the first ever like out of bounds crazy thing I've ever found. And what's funny is if you break out of the map, because technically in that dungeon you're back in time, right? In Lordaeron, before it gets corrupted. And so what's funny is that but when you go back in time, if you break out of the map, you can see like early versions of Eastern Plague Lands and all that. But the Ghostlands portal still exists in the back there. So if you walk through the Ghostland portal, obviously it doesn't teleport you, but it has like this long, I don't know, square textured box of pink and black on it, and it's just weird to look at. So I don't know if that's just like a trigger of what's actually supposed to be there, or I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm assuming that was supposed to be something in development leading into the Ghostlands, and they just, it's gone because you're not technically ever supposed to be back there to begin with. So.
That's so cool, dude. That's so cool. What's your favorite out of bounds place to go?
Oh, just real quick, sorry. If I like mess up on lore and stuff, I totally apologize. I always tell people I've been playing since really early days of WoW, but I am not like a hardcore lore. I'm just a casual player. I do Raid Finder, I do Quest. I just have fun with the game. I'm not like this hardcore lore guy who knows all the backstories and how to pronounce stuff properly. So if I say things like I just said Lordaeron or whatever, I might be pronouncing that wrong. I'm so sorry. So I just want to say sorry. Like I'm just gonna apologize now. I am not this like hardcore lore guy who knows everything about World of Warcraft. So if I pronounce things wrong, sorry. And to everybody, I apologize because I know there's some lore geek out there like cringing every time I talk sometimes when I'm even during my videos on
Yeah,
YouTube.
dude, you're an out of bounds player. You're not a lore player. I get it.
Yeah. Sorry. What was the question again? I just wanted to say that.
It's okay. I believe it was. What is your favorite, like, secret you found?
Mm.
That's a hard one, I know.
It is because there's so many videos I've done that have been so much fun.
Is there one that you've been back to like a bunch of times just because you enjoy it so much?
Yeah. One of the things that stood out to me specifically when you asked that was oh man, this is tough.
Okay.
There's just so much content to go through in my head that I'm like trying to think what was my favorite video that I've done or like my favorite thing I ever discovered
Yeah.
in the out of bounds. And oh, one of my recent videos I did was on Exile Reach, the starter zones
Loved that
for
video.
players. And if you travel out to the distant islands in the distance, there's early versions of Exile Reach out there. And I believe, if people can correct me here, but there was actually going to be Stormheim, like they were going to make it a Stormheim map or whatever out there. So it was going to be part of Stormheim. So they just literally took assets from Stormheim in, was it Legion, right?
Yes.
Stormheim
Yeah.
Legion. So they literally took assets of Stormheim from Legion and put it on these islands, and that was going to be like the early development of Exile Reach. So that was probably one of my favorite OOB discoveries out there. And then actually there's a cave. Actually, there's two. Okay, I thought of another one. There's two. The other one in Exile Reach, if you go to a certain cave, it's like Hagatha's cave or something like that.
Yeah.
And if you die in there, it will actually teleport you to Stormheim, which is pretty crazy to
No
think. So
way.
because Blizzard takes certain assets and they just copy them from other parts of the game and they literally stick them on another map. And so, for instance, now talking about this, one of my favorite discoveries, which was actually discovered by the Out of Bounds, was discovered by Maiden. Maiden's in the AT Discord, one of my members. Maiden discovered to break out of the Motherlode map in Battle for Azeroth. So if you break out, you can actually get to a certain part of the map, and they actually just copy it from Spires of Iraq in Draenor.
Yeah.
And so if you die in that house, it will actually teleport you to Draenor from the Motherlord dungeon outside. So
Wow.
that was probably one of my favorite things too, is just finding little teleportation glitches outside the map that you could use to get to places faster.
That reminds me of another
Why you want to do that, who
one.
knows?
Yeah, there's another teleport glitch that can teleport you from like Azeroth. I can't remember where it is in Azeroth, but it will take you to Gorgrond. Like
oh yes, yeah,
yeah,
I know what
the
you're
one.
talking about.
Yeah, because
And
before the Draenor skip became available, that's how people used to get to Draenor and skip through all the annoying, starter quests and everything like that.
what's really funny about teleportation is back in the day, the early days of vanilla, there was if I remember correctly, there's a toy that it will randomly teleport you to places around the world. And one of the places will actually teleport you in like a place you're never supposed to be. So Blizzard actually messes with the person when they teleport there. It will actually say on your screen, you're not supposed to be here or something like that. And so I always thought that was kind of funny. I've never seen it before. I just have heard people talk about it, that there was a toy where it would, I don't know if it's in the game anymore.
Yeah.
But I also could be getting this wrong, but people were saying that you would actually teleport you to places that you're not supposed to be, like undeveloped places. Mm-hmm. And Blizzard will actually mess with you and say, hey, you're not supposed to be here or something like that.
I always think these type of rumors, though, are like based on like something, they've got to be based on something somewhere.
Oh, there has to be, right?
Yeah.
It has to be. And I don't know. I think it's so much fun. And so that's what I was saying earlier. I wish Blizzard would embrace the OOB community a little more and maybe do some challenges, because I think it helps them. We can help them. I mean, we're breaking their game. Then they're like, oh, thank you for patch. They can help them patch the glitches or whatever they need to. So, but I'm glad they don't, because then that would destroy my channel real quick. That would destroy my channel real quick.
Out of interest, have you ever like doubled upon like a secret or out-of-bound thing and that's kind of like surprised you or changed the way that you see the game on a whole?
Yes. And I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to get me in trouble, but laziness is what I'm going to say.
No way.
You can see how much, like, for instance, I haven't done a video on it yet, but I'll kind of do a little future spoiler for a video I'm going to do in the future. In Legion, if you remember the Court of Stars dungeon, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, if you break out of Court of Stars, they keep the whole entirety of the Isles back there, the Broken Isles. You can literally travel the whole Broken Isles, and it's empty completely. So you can get into things like the class hall order zones. You can get into them being another class. So I was a demon hunter in the hunter zone. I was in the druid class order hall. Like, you can get into stuff like that.
No way.
So it just goes to show that Blizzard doesn't, for whatever reason, they don't limit what you see. So like, you can literally explore the whole Broken Isles and everything's back there. Like, everything. Anything you want to see, you can go see. So I could go be a demon hunter in the druid class order hall, and it won't teleport you out or nothing.
Are there NPCs and stuff there still?
Sometimes they hide stuff back there. We didn't see anything in the Broken Isles, but there are NPCs sometimes. Like, actually, spoiler, I'm going to be releasing a video on Tuesday for my members. There's actually a NPC standing outside of the Mogushan Vaults, the raid in Pandaria.
Yeah.
There's just a random NPC chilling out there, and you can target it, but you can't attack it. It's just standing there, and I don't know why. So I don't know if maybe it's like a queue to wait for it to fly in when it's ready, but it's like a boss and everything, and it just stands out there.
No way.
And you can't attack it; it just stands still. It's idle, and I actually show it off in the video. So little sneak peek for everybody.
Oh, I can't wait. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the biggest challenge that you've personally faced when trying to explore Out of Bounds content?
I know I'd mentioned this earlier, but definitely raids have been the biggest challenge just because you don't have your normal OOB equipment with you. So one of the biggest things is like you can't use toys. You have to rely on just the move set that you have with the Demon Hunter. So Infernal Strike's really big and really useful, especially for jumping at walls and trying to glitch through them. That's probably been one of the biggest things. Another thing has been DC. So like for instance, one of the dungeons, the Ruby life pools in Dragonflight, I found a way out right in the beginning of the dungeon, but the problem is when you jump up at a certain point, you DC. So sometimes you'll face like stuff like that. So you got to find a way to like manipulate to run around the DC walls or avoid the death walls.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of one of the hardest challenges is the death walls and the DC walls. Because if you get stuck in those or you'll just die, and then it sucks. So
that does suck. So you just get logged off and then you log back in. You try and like find it again without hitting the same wall.
Sometimes you can escape them. So there are times where you can't escape them, but it's tough because if you get stuck in a DC loop and you're not able to go forward and clip back into the map or something, or fly back into the map, then you're done and you have to open up a sport ticket. So that's probably one of the hardest things. But there are times where you get lucky and you'll fall outside the map and you'll just start falling and you'll DC and you'll log back in and you're able to like fell rush forward or something and you're able to jump back in the map and you're like, oh, okay, I got back in. Or sometimes you'll just fall completely and you won't DC and you'll just die. So that's nice too, where it's like, oh, thank you, I don't have to open a sport ticket now.
Oh, right.
So that's one of the challenges.
How many support tickets do you think you've had to open over the years?
Oh gosh. Just in the past like 3 months or 4 months that I've been doing all this stuff now, probably close to 50 or more at least.
50? Oh my gosh.
Oh, easily, yeah. Because yeah, I mean, you have no other choice because if you're stuck in a DC loop, you're done. I mean, you have to open up sport tickets. So at least 50 plus.
Dude, you should definitely like use like a wanted poster as some of your like branding, like, and put your face on it or something like that, and just like wanted OOB player, like a wanted poster because you're just breaking
that's
the
a good
game.
idea.
It's kind of like
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
okay.
I was just thinking because like
I'll have to do that.
You know, it's like you're a wanted criminal of Blizzard right now.
Yes.
You know, like
that's a good idea.
Back in the day, just going around being crazy and stuff. Yeah,
and I could offer that shirt to other people who want to put their face there. You know,
exactly, dude. Yeah, 100%.
That's a good idea. You should trademark that now, man.
Yeah. What do you think I'm doing right now?
You better TM it. I call TM trademark.
Yeah, that's it. So, do you have any like specific tools or techniques that you use to like help you explore World of Warcraft or get out of bounds or things like that?
Yeah, so one of the tools that I use, and I shouldn't be talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should mention that one. That one's
you don't have to mention it if you don't want. You can.
I don't want people to go get in trouble.
It.
There's a tool that you can view maps, like in a map editor.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to have it. Like you can literally view the maps on, so you can open them on like your computer screen. You can view them like what's outside the map, how far the boundaries go. Basically, it's like a map render in real time. So you can export anything, current content. People are seeing War Within content. I won't tell the actual tool, but there's a tool out there where you can do that. Now, I'm sure it's known, so people are going to be like, oh, okay, I know what he's talking about. But I just don't. I don't push people to go download it because it can be dangerous. If you can actually mess up your game files, and if you load into World of Warcraft and one of your game files is mismatched, Blizzard's going to ban you right away. So
yeah, you don't want to accidentally get people banned or anything like that. Makes sense.
But other than that, I just use the team in Discord, so they help me out a lot.
Yeah.
And also, I'll just go have fun. Like,
Hmm.
I'll be like, you know what, today I'm gonna go try to break out of such and such, and I'll just go start messing around and seeing what I can find, or okay, this is a better way to get out than this way, and okay, I tried to get out this way, but this way didn't work, so maybe I should try to go out this way. Okay, there's a death wall here, so I need to make sure not to go there, and then there's a DC loop here, so don't walk that way. And so I'll kind of like plan out my strategy of where I'm going to walk. And sometimes I'll just blindfold them. Like the other day, I recorded a video and I've never been outside the dungeon other than how to glitch out. And I just waited for the video and I just walked around and I tell people, hey, there might be death walls out here that I've never actually hit or DC loops. So I'm just preparing you now and I might have to edit and cut the video and then come back. But also things like toys. Toys are huge in OOB. Blizzard doesn't realize how broken their toys are in the game. Like, for instance, one of the biggest things you can do is you want to get your character lined up underneath like a pillar. So like for instance, you'll have like a pillar that's kind of like this.
Yeah.
And you'll have it kind of fold down. You want to get your character just stuck enough to where you can build like a seesaw, for instance. And then you want to back out, make yourself big so you can grow yourself with a potion or whatever.
Yeah.
Jump back on the seesaw, but when you stand up, the game doesn't render your height anymore. Or it does, but you're not supposed to be standing where you're standing, so you just literally clip out of the map. So
Wow.
I use stuff like that to my advantage. And then also things like there's these pillows you can buy in Dragonflight. They're like, it's like a red, a black, and a purple pillow. And you literally just put it right outside the map. You just sit on it and you can go outside the map, like anywhere you want. Any dungeon, anywhere. You can use those anywhere. You have to use them outside, unfortunately. So if you're inside of a dungeon, you can't use them. But then you're like, okay, I'll just build a seesaw. Or you know that what was the War Within? You pre-order the War Within and you get that what's the Griffin Sandbox toy?
Yep.
That one's really broken too. So you can literally sit on top certain places and you'll activate the toy and you'll just fall through a map like completely. Like these are just things that Blizzard has no idea. I hope they don't listen to this and go patch everything now, but so yeah, the things like that will help me out a lot. So it's just you got to just use your toys and stuff to your advantage.
Yeah,
when you can.
you do have to be careful of saying certain things sometimes because Blizzard do patch it based off what you say. I think I was like one of the people who got the bloody purses nerfed in
Really?
Yeah, like later because they nerfed it in Shadowlands. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I was pumping content out about the Garrison Gold. And I did like one really big video and like within 24 hours after that video dropped and it got like, I think it's some like 15,000 views in like 24 hours. And the bloody purse just got nerfed like into the ground.
Like the next day? Or it took a little bit?
They did it in the next day. Like it, because I got 15k views in like 24 hours and then it was nerfed like at that point. At like the end of that 24 hours. It was like that quick.
I try to be Blizzard's friend as much as possible because I don't want to break their game in a sense to be evil or try to get an advantage. Like, I don't think they care that you do OOB as long as you're having fun with it. Like, for instance, I don't do stuff to get an advantage in the game. Like, I don't do OOB and PvP or get outside the map so people can't hit me. Like, I don't do it to make a lot of gold. You know what I mean? Like glitching gold, for instance. And so I don't do it to get an advantage in the game over other players. I just do it for fun. So if you were to do it in an exploitation way, then I think Blizzard would have a problem with it. But if you do it in a way where you're like, hey, I use this because technically it's in the game with their game. I got out of the map right here. Go have fun and explore, but do it at your own risk, you know?
Yeah, you're an explorer.
Exactly.
I'm
not trying to get an advantage.
A game explorer is probably the best description for it, right? You're not. I know they call it out of bounds, right? But really, is it? Like, it's just you're an explorer. You're going out of the bounds of what people's perceptions are. Like, it's not you're necessarily you're like trying to hack the game or anything like that. Otherwise, your channel would be called "I'm the Best Hacker 193."
Exactly, and then I would get in a lot of trouble. Exactly. So I'm not trying to ever hurt them because I love World of Warcraft. I want to see the game go on for many, many years with expansions and trilogies and How long that's going to be, I don't know, but I'm rooting for them. I love this game, so I don't want to hurt them in any way possible.
Mhm.
But it is fun to go outside the map and explore. So I feel like it's cool to see this stuff. Like
Mhm.
you don't get to see development sometimes on games.
I'm watching this one guy on TikTok at the moment. You've just made me think of him. And he is walking from Manchester in England
Hmm.
to Ibiza.
Oh
So
wow,
yeah, so he's walking from like England to France to then Spain.
jeez,
Yeah, like he's
just on
walking
foot.
on foot. No,
Oh
nothing else. Yeah, it's just literally walking. He's on day
wow,
42 and he walks like 30, 40 kilometers a day, dude. It's
jeez,
crazy. He stays
that
in
dude must be
like,
in some good shape.
yeah, he stays in like Airbnbs and stuff. He's like 19 years old. It is like every day I just like watch a new day of it and I'm just like, damn.
Yeah,
He's just exploring. That's all he's doing.
yeah. I mean, when you're young, he's 19. Go for it. You know, he's
Yeah.
got the whole world ahead of him, so that's fun. I say go for
You're
it.
the
He's got
same,
nothing
but
else to
you're
do.
in game, dude. You're
Yes.
like, I'm going to where no other man has been.
Yes, yeah. I'm just gonna go explore and have fun with it and see the unknown, see what we could find, and
Hmm.
it's always a risk. So if I get
Yeah.
banned one day, I get banned. I'm
You know,
the risk. So
one of your videos that's like one of my favorite videos of yours is the Robin Williams one. You know, the genie,
mm,
um,
yes,
the Easter egg.
yes,
Whilst we're on the subject of Easter eggs, because your channel's not just about out of bounds stuff, you also do Easter egg stuff, right? And
yes,
secrets and
yeah.
things
I've
like
done a
that.
few
Yeah.
videos on that.
What's the coolest Easter egg you've discovered in World of Warcraft?
For me personally, because
Hmm.
I'm a huge fan of the Soulsborne series, I love Dark Souls. I love Bloodborne. I didn't like Sekiro. Sorry, people. I'm not a Sekiro fan. I didn't. I wasn't a huge person in I wasn't huge on Elden Ring. I like more of the linear games. So, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. So the finding Sunbro in
Yeah,
Stormwind, standing behind Lion's Rest is, I think, the coolest thing ever. And you get the bonfire toy when you
yeah.
rest, on him and all that. So finding Solaire, I think, is probably my favorite Easter egg in the
Hmm.
game. I mean, that's so cool that Blizzard paid a nod to Dark Souls and all that. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably my favorite.
You
Do you
know,
have a favorite?
yeah, I have a favorite Easter egg. It's a kind of a sad one, to be honest, bro. Um, you might be able to guess the one. It's a person who died. You know the
Oh, the
one?
one in Ogremar?
No, Stormwind. So it is Reckful.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I was a huge fan of his content. I watched him for years and years, and he passed away.
Mhm.
In the sad way that he did.
Yeah.
And Blizzard created his character, and put it in Stormwind Cathedral. It's called
Wow.
Reckful, spelt in his own very way. They had even a funeral in World of Warcraft. Like there was like thousands of people in every single realm who went to like the Stormwind Cathedral to like um
Pay honor to him.
pay honor to him because
Wow.
he like dude he helped people like Asmongold get big. Like
Yeah.
he was a OG.
Mm.
So like I often go back to like Stormwind Cathedral and just see it, see Reckful there because it's a nice feeling. It makes
Yeah.
you remember that stuff. I think Easter eggs are really important to a lot of people in games.
Definitely.
You know.
And I wish Blizzard would put more Easter eggs for
Hmm.
people who have, like, for instance, Haven. People talk
Yeah.
about him a lot. He's lived a big legacy behind with OOB content.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised Blizzard hasn't, put a Easter egg for him in the game,
Yeah.
honestly. Because he was huge. I mean, he had up to close to almost 100,000 subscribers at one point. I think right now his channel's sitting at like 75.
Yeah.
I know he's no longer with us, but it's just cool to see like the legacy he left behind with OOB content.
Yeah.
But I think Blizzard also at the same time they don't want to push people to do that stuff, sadly. So I think that's one of the reasons why they haven't actually made a Easter egg for him in the
It's
game
kind
yet.
of a shame because like for me, World of Warcraft isn't just a game; it's a place where passionate people hang out. And
Yes.
like I think Blizzard tries to support anyone who's passionate about their game, like
Yes.
in any respect. Whether you just like clicking and playing fishing every day, it's like whatever you like to do.
Yes.
They like to push everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. I really like the Easter eggs. What's Can you share any like special Easter eggs that you've randomly stumbled across that you didn't even realize when it was an Easter egg for a long time, and then you suddenly started to realize when you start to pump out YouTube content, things like that, that it was an Easter egg. Have you got any of those off the top?
Yes. There was one specifically, and I'm trying to remember, where I ran across not too long ago, and it was in one of my videos, and I just randomly ran across it. It was Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite.
Oh yeah.
She's hanging out, walking around Stormwind with a bird following her, and that's supposed to be a reference to her. And
No way.
because my all-time favorite games of all time is the BioShock series. I love BioShock 1. That was with the twist in that game changed a lot of gaming, personally, I believe. And I thought the original BioShock was a masterpiece, in my opinion. With the whole twist and all that. But just seeing Elizabeth, or I don't remember her actual name in the game. I think it's like Elizabeth Stanbird or Songbird or whatever in the game. But it's cool that they're paying homage to the BioShock series. So there's so many games that Blizzard has put references to in the game, and I love that they did BioShock, which is one of my favorite series of all time. I do not, to be honest with you. I'm not a big reader.
There's a really good BioShock book. I loved it. I've read it twice now. Really, it's just like it's literally BioShock, but as a book. It's like so cool.
Oh, who wrote it? Do you remember? I think I know exactly what you're talking about, and I owned it, and I did read through it when I was young.
Yeah, it's so cool, dude. Just like you don't realize how much it's all like connected, like communism and all that stuff, like crazy amounts.
Crazy.
But when you read it, it's like, oh my gosh, I kind of understand it in a really messed up way. Like how it came to be,
Yes. Yeah. And I think I still have the book, actually. Man, dang, you're gonna make me want to look for that. It's in one of the boxes out in my
I'm looking now. Like, I can't see it. Where is it, dude?
Gosh dang it, man. I'm gonna have to go look for that now.
Yeah. Me too, dude. Me too.
I'm glad you brought that up.
So, let's get on to things about you.
Yeah.
Right? So tell us a bit about yourself, like outside of World of Warcraft. Like, what hobbies do you have? Like, what's your general interests?
Yeah.
Like outside of World of Warcraft.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm a big gamer. Outside of WoW, I play a lot of other games. I currently am going through the Fears the Fathom series. I don't know if you've heard of those. They're kind of like a scary games. They just episodes that they're bringing out, and I love that kind of stuff. Play a lot of Hearthstone outside of World of Warcraft, so I love the card game of WoW.
Dude, I'm a big wuss. I can't handle horror games or anything like that. Like, I'm just
really
too much of a wuss, dude. And
I am too. I get freaked out, but I love them. And
I get scared by loud sounds, dude. Loud sounds scare me. They get me bad.
And what's funny is these games, the graphics are horrible. But because of the way that it's designed, it scares the crap out of people. So they're kind of fun to go through. Maybe I'll have to stream on my channel one time, and then I'll have to show you. But
my favorite one was The Forest. Dude,
oh yes, The Forest was great. I played the Sons of the Forest
made me
too.
Scream like a little girl, dude. Like,
really?
Yeah, like when you're just like casually building a little base, and then suddenly there's like a cannibal just appear, like, and you're like,
yes.
Honestly, the scariest thing ever.
So outside of games, though, I don't really have too many hobbies. I work in IT full time, so I'm actually a service desk manager. I'm a manager in IT, so I work around computers all day. Work for a small, or not small, but bigger MSP where we've been growing. It's like a startup. I helped like build over 3 or 4 years ago. And we've gotten really big now, so I've been doing that as a career, and I love my job. I love IT. I love working around computers all day. I get to work from home. Other than that, I spend time with my wife. Go to church on Sundays, and
that's nice.
I during the week I just spend time with family, and I mean, I honestly, people would look at my life, and I'm like a really boring person. I am an old soul. I'm a big homie person. We don't, I don't go out and drink and smoke and party and do all that stuff. And, I don't judge or whatever, but I just never really was a big person to do any of that. So I stay at home. I play games at
Yep.
night. My wife likes to paint, and we kind of just live a quiet life. And I do the YouTube channel, and yeah, and I just work full time, and that's about it. So we
Dude,
don't
we're so
really.
similar in our like personality. We're like very, very similar. We not that much drinking, not really going out
No,
partying or anything like that. Just
yeah,
the cheekiest thing you can catch me doing is going for a nice meal somewhere. I like a good
yeah.
meal. Yeah.
Same, and I like going out to the movies. I love watching movies,
Yeah.
and go out to eat, and we do travel. Actually, coming up on Wednesday, I'm leaving for 10 days. We're going back to Nicaragua for 10 days because my wife's originally from Nicaragua, and her
Wow.
family's from back there. So we're gonna go travel back there and see her family. And we've already been one. I've already been once, like a couple of
Yeah.
years ago, but we're going back again, and I'm very excited. So it's gonna be fun.
That's awesome, dude. I'm just watching the TV series at the moment, Snowfall. You know the one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I
So
haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things about it.
yeah, it's got a lot about Nicaragua in there. I
Really?
don't know if you know
Okay.
about that. Yeah, like the whole drug
I'll have
trade
to check
in
that
the
out.
80s was
Yes,
fueled by the
yes.
CIA, who was trying to fund the war in Nicaragua to get
Hmm,
their freedom back, which is
okay,
like
I'll
all
have to check
behind
that
the
out.
scenes. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Really good
Awesome.
series. Might interest you and your wife because of the situation, right? She's
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Nicaragua. She actually like might have her parents might have experience of dealing with some of those problems.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, I'll definitely have to mention that.
It's
Okay, I'll
interesting.
check that out for
Massive
sure.
congrats to your wife's YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
she just started, and people have been loving on her so much, like, so much support
Oh.
and liking the videos and commenting, so I just wanna thank everybody that too, from the
Hmm.
ATN community and people who have been stopping by, so I've been trying to use my channel to promote her sorry, as
Okay.
well, so, I've been trying to lift her up and get her started as well, but,
Yeah.
she's slowly building hers, and I'm excited to see where it goes, so
It's a
she
slow
loves doing
process,
painting.
but
What's
it's
that?
amazing. It's a slow process, but it's
Yes,
amazing
yeah,
that you're supporting your partner, you're pushing her to achieve her dreams, and
yes,
that says a lot about you. So massive props
yeah.
to you doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I'm
I'm
trying
happy
to
for her.
push my partner into doing something like that at the moment. She's just started her own little business behind the scenes, and I'm
Oh,
helping her
awesome.
with it quite a lot at the moment. Yeah, it's quite
Hey,
fun.
good luck to her, and hopefully her business can pop off. So
Yeah, she wants to
that's
be like
awesome.
a social media manager for like Pinterest. Like,
Oh,
so
wow.
she's
Okay.
like figuring out like she's managing a bunch of my websites behind the scenes and like promoting
Dang.
them from Pinterest and stuff like that. It's really cool.
You don't hear that every day, a social media manager. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
because like social media is like so busy and popular now.
Oh, yes.
Like creators like you or me, for example, who are just busy making content all the time. They don't
Yeah.
always have the time to like promote across all their social medias and that
Dude,
type of
I
stuff.
will
Yeah,
tell you that one of the biggest work for me outside of YouTube is the social media. It takes
yeah,
time because on my phone, I make YouTube shorts, but in
yeah,
order to upload them to like TikTok, for instance, I have to make a short on YouTube, transfer it to another app, and then transfer it to TikTok.
yeah.
So it's just like, it takes so much time and
Hmm.
like a lot of effort. So when I'm laying in bed at night and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, I'll just be making shorts on my phone because I use that time to do that. But it takes social media,
So
it takes
now you
time.
understand the value of a social media manager.
Yes.
Like they do
Yes,
what you
I
don't want to
do.
do,
I
basically.
do, and I've considered that in the future. I'm like, maybe I should just hire somebody in the future
Yeah,
as I keep growing to just manage
yeah.
all my social media because, it takes so much time, man.
It gets to a certain point with creators where they're earning so much money from their content that for them
Yes.
to like do their own social media is like it's a waste of their time in terms of
Yeah,
like the value that their time is worth. So for
definitely.
them, they prefer to pay someone rather than do it themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I've actually had not too bad of success on, TikTok recently. I
Yeah,
just started on there, and I'm over 300 followers, so it's not huge,
dude,
but
you're
it's
killing it.
starting.
Yeah,
And a lot of reactions. People are loving the videos on there. And it's just shorts, from my YouTube channel.
yeah,
So, but I've been doing great on there, so I'm happy. Facebook hasn't been doing that great,
yeah.
and I just started Instagram recently, so we'll see how it grows.
Your content is so suitable for TikTok. so suitable for TikTok.
I agree.
Yeah, massively, because of like just the obvious reason. You're showing pretty cool stuff that no one else has got. I've said this, the first thing I said when we got into this call was, I love how unique your content is.
Thank you.
That stands out on TikTok big time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm trying to be unique as much as possible because like I mentioned earlier, there are those that have came before. I've done OOB, so I'm trying to be Nathan. I'm trying to be myself. I don't want to give into the what everybody else is doing. I want to be me. I want to make longer videos. I want to explore everything. I want to do commentary as I go through. I just want to chill, relax, have fun, laugh at my mistakes if I mess up.
Yep.
Speaking something. Yeah, I don't know if people notice, but I'm always laughing at videos because it's have fun. Like life is so short. Do what you love to do and just have fun with it. Like it's a video game at the end of the day. You know, this isn't serious. We're not playing in a, I'm not working in the White House as a president of the United States. Like just have fun, relax, laugh at yourself, and just you're gonna make mistakes. And a lot of times I record my mistakes on camera because I want people to see I'm just human. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna mess up. But I want to show people that anybody, a random person, can do OOB content and have fun doing it and just laugh at themselves while doing it. So I'm always going to be like that.
You know, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got was from another YouTuber. Absolutely love his channel. He's so good. He's actually the reason I got unbanned on YouTube.
Really?
Yes. Archvaldor.
Wow.
Archvaldor.
Okay, I don't think I've heard of him.
You should have, because he does Warcraft hacks. That's his channel.
Okay.
He's Archvaldor Warcraft hacks. And his channel is all about breaking the game, finding exploits. So like he is like gold for you to watch, so to speak, because like he is similar.
I'll have to check him out now.
Yeah. So he sometimes does out of bounds content, but like it's a lot of just exploits and things like that.
Nice. Okay.
But he gave me some advice when I was at 4,900 subscribers, and one thing he said to me was, your most unique feature about you is your energy and your positivity. You should double in. You should really focus in on that in particular, because if you do, your channel will go to the next step. And I was like, okay. So I did, and the dude was right, 100%. My channel blew up from there. It was great. So like, you being you, Nathan, who does out of bounds content, remaining authentic, that's you, dude. That's you all over, and it will get you huge success as a result.
Yeah, and I'm trying to stick with that as much as I can, because I know a lot of times when the fame kicks in or people start to blow up or they get really big, everything starts to become about money and profit and what can I gain. But for me, I just make this stuff for fun. Like I'm not here to make millions of dollars. If I could do YouTube full time one day, cool. If not, I'm always gonna do YouTube just for a hobby, just for fun. And if I make a little money from it, cool. If not, whatever. I'm just here to have a good time, build the ATN community, and I've so far that's been going great. There's over hundreds of members in there already, and everybody's been having a good time. People are daily, so posting in there and posting memes and laughing and joking around, having fun. Later today, I got the Death Run going on, that event, so that's gonna be fun. And so it's just things like that where I'm just here to have a good time. And I'm not here to get caught up all in the, get rich quick scheme, as people would call it. You know what I mean? So
whilst we're on the subject of like your death run, so to speak, I was going to ask you, how do you like your community engagement? Like, how do you connect with your subscribers and stuff like that? Like, what events do you host? Like this type of thing. And I was trying to lead into the death run. So
sorry.
It's okay. It's completely fine. You read my mind. So tell us a little bit about that and how you like connect with your subscribers.
Yeah, so I'll be honest with you. This is all new to me. I've never really knew how to manage anything yet. I'm still learning, and I just opened memberships. So one of the things I'm going to start doing is if people do opt into the membership, which is totally optional. You don't have to. I don't ever pressure people to do it. But if they want to become a member of the channel, one thing I'm going to start doing is sharing like secrets and guides and save more of the meaty parts of the video for the members, and then keep just all the out of bounds content for like the regular crowd. So if you want to learn how to break out, if you know all the best tips and tricks, join the membership. And then another way I do that is I'll just post on the community forums on YouTube. So I'll do votes, and one thing I tried to do early on when I was starting to gain a lot of subscribers is put votes out there. What do people want to see? What do they want to watch? What don't they want to watch? I'm always criticizing myself. Hey, did you guys like this video? What could I have done better? And then also I'll do votes in the ATN Discord channel. What do you guys want to see for the future? And so people voted on events. And the last event we did was the Gnome Death Run, and that was fun. We didn't do hardcore, so we all made gnomes, like level 1 gnomes, and there was like 2 of us. And whoever got to the Ogremar first and got into Thrall was the winner. And I ended up giving a prize out there. And so just trying to get the community involved in little things. After the hardcore Death Run, I'm actually going to be hosting a transmog contest. So whoever can wear the best transmog and submit it, and then I'll have the community vote, and then whoever has the most votes will win that. So just
That's
little things
amazing.
like that. I'm trying to get people more involved in that way, and I want I want the community to run the channel. I'm just here for them. What do they want to see? Obviously, I want to make content that I love too, but without them, I wouldn't be here where I am. So but I'm learning because this is all new for me, and I've never knew how to manage YouTube. I've never known how to put on events. So as the crafting stuff goes on, I'll get better at it over time.
It's incredible that you say that, because I think the best YouTubers are YouTubers who want to who create content that they're happy with, not just they're creating content to get views. If that makes sense.
Yes.
You can really see the difference between those two. It screams authenticity. When you're watching someone, and you're like, damn, this person's so down to earth and like normal.
And I think
that's what I love.
You need to have a balance, because the problem is a lot of people that get into YouTube and they just listen to what people want and not what they want. So you got to have like a 50-50. Like, I want to make content just for the community, but I also want to make content having fun too, because if you're just doing it day in and day out, and you're just making content just to please people, you're not ever going to have fun with it. You're never going to grow the channel. It's just going to be another repetition job that you're doing. And I don't ever want to do that. So I'm trying to balance things out where it's like, I want to have fun and laugh, but I also do want to make content that people want to watch as well. So,
I get that I have that problem so badly, dude. Whenever I do a Let's Play series on World of Warcraft, they never do well. Like, first episode always does amazing.
Yes.
Then after that, you get like 200 to 600 views on average per video, and for my channel, that's not like great. It's not worth like the time of doing it from a monetary perspective. So I just do it because I absolutely love Let's Plays. That's what I've always loved doing. I love just throwing myself into the story, playing the characters. And it struck a note what you said about how you got to find a balance between what you like to create as a content and then what others like to watch as a content. You got to find a good balance, because not all my videos are like that. Some of my videos are like, oh, hey, I've got to create this guide because the other guides out there aren't that good.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Definitely.
That type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And got to do it for the passion, but you also got to do it for the fun. So
exactly. Like, one of my first videos was the heirloom rings. How to get the heirloom ring. It was Belua. He made a video, and it was like one of his first videos. It wasn't very good. So I was like, that's not how you do it. Like, so I went in, and that's my, like, one of my very first like good videos is I basically just showed people how to do it properly, and it popped off. It absolutely popped off because I was passionate about it.
One of the things I live by on YouTube is I always listen to Mr. Beast's advice, the biggest YouTuber in the world, right?
Yeah.
He said that your first 100 videos are gonna suck. And he said that he's like, no matter who you are, no matter what you're doing, your first 100 videos are going to suck. And he said, after your first 100 videos, then determine what you want to do after that, like where you want to go with your channel. And he said, if you follow that formula, he said, you'll do great on YouTube. It's a slow burn. It's going to take time to grow. Some people have been on YouTube like yourself since you were 15.
Yeah.
It takes time, right? These are investments. So you're not just going to, some people pop up overnight and they get millions of subscribers. People, it takes a long time to grow. But he said, your first 100 videos are going to suck. He's like, I know that's kind of mean to say, but true, because he said, my first 100 videos sucked and they didn't do nothing. You're not going to get views. But after your first 100 videos, you'll start to grow and you'll find out what you want. So,
yeah, it's so true. My brother is a driving instructor on YouTube, And
Oh, nice.
yeah, one
Okay.
day he said, he's like, Ero, I want to become I want to start another business. What business should I start? And I've always like had a nick for this. I like being able to figure out business and stuff behind the scenes, on how to like make money. So I was like, bro, like I'm a YouTuber. Become a YouTuber for driving instructing. Like it's so simple. You're amazing at what you do, so record videos about it. And at the time,
Yeah.
no one else was doing it. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. So I really talked him into it. He started, and dude, now he's bigger than me. But like,
Wow. Good for
yeah,
him.
yeah. So, but when he first started, his first videos were terrible. Like, I love him to death, but his first videos was like, this is how you drive. And I was like, Josh, you don't
So
talk
corny.
like that.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't do that again. Be normal.
That's funny.
And then,
Just be
like,
yourself.
after about
Yeah.
100 videos, he hit his stride and he just started to do incredibly. You know, it's funny going back and watching those first few videos, though, isn't it?
YouTube is so random
Mhm.
because you can have videos where you can have like a 12-year-old kid who's recording like 360p, comes out with like a Call of Duty, Minecraft, Fortnite video, and it
Yeah.
blows up to like 1 million views. And you yourself or myself can come out and we can like edit videos down to like the T and make it look perfect,
Yeah.
and it gets like 100 views. And you're like, what did I do
Yes,
wrong?
why me?
Yeah. And then you have these other people who blown up just unwrapping toys. Like that's
Yeah.
huge right now on YouTube.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And it is crazy. And so you just never know what's gonna do well and what's not. And that's what I tell people, like, just go out and make videos, have fun. Like even if you think someone else has already done it, do it yourself, put your own spin on it and release it. Like
Yeah, for sure.
eventually content's gonna recycle itself. It's just part of the world, right? So
Yeah. Here's a question for you. If
yeah.
you could create any Easter egg in World of Warcraft, what would it be and why? And where would you hide it?
Ooh. Man, I was thinking about. I'm glad you brought this up because I was thinking about this the other day.
Yeah. Give
Um,
Blizzard, let's imagine Blizzard's watching this video and you want to see this Easter egg in World of Warcraft. What would you do?
oh man, I'm trying to think of like maybe a game I loved growing up or something. Like I mentioned the BioShock series.
Yeah.
Um, I think it'd be really awesome if, speaking of BioShock, if out in the water you found like a little city underwater and like a Big Daddy or something, reference to
Yeah.
like some sort of underwater. But the problem is everybody hated the water stuff in World of Warcraft, which was really sad because I loved Vashir and all that. Because Cataclysm is my favorite
I love
expansion.
Bashir
I'm
so
like
much. Yeah.
a outcast here. I know everybody hated Cataclysm. I loved Cataclysm. That was my favorite expansion. I thought, and which I've been enjoying Cata Classic right now, which I love. But I enjoyed Bashir and I love the underwater zone stuff. And I was so sad to see the what was you have Throne of the Tides, but what was the raid that got canceled? I can't remember.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, there was a raid that was right next to Throne of the Tides. The portal entrance is still there, but you
Yeah.
can't go inside, which I was really sad about because I think it would have been a really cool raid, but
I hate it when they
hated the
do that.
underwater
They just
stuff.
cancel it randomly. Sucks,
Which is
doesn't
so sad because Nashatar was awesome. Like the Queen's Palace and all that. The Eternal Palace was a cool raid. Nashatar I thought was a really awesome zone and BFA. So I'm really sad that nobody liked the underwater content, unfortunately. But yeah, I'd probably do like a BioShock Easter egg where I'd put like a miniature Rapture City underneath the water with like a Big Daddy reference and the little sister, and maybe have like an Atom machine or something. I don't know. Maybe
that'd be
that's too
so
much, but
cool.
that would be cool. That would be cool.
That would be so
And then
cool.
have like Andrew Ryan's quote or something, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always love to see a BioShock reference.
That would be amazing. I could just imagine. That'd be so cool just going down.
They've already put in one.
Yeah,
so why can't
not?
they do another?
Do it again, dude.
Yeah.
I'd love that. I'd like a Bobby, like a goblin Bobby.
Okay.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Just a suited and booted Bobby Kotick goblin,
Yeah, there
just
you
somewhere
go.
out in the world, just walking around, just for the World of Warcraft era where it was all about making money. Like that would be
sweet.
quite an ironic one, wouldn't it? Just not that he deserves it, but I'm just saying it would be good. It would be good. I asked Semi this, and I've got to ask you this because it was a really good
Hmm.
answer he gave. So, what's one thing about you that your audience might be surprised to learn?
One thing about me,
That's kind of like surprising. Your audience might not know.
um, probably that I am a practicing Christian. I
Yeah,
go to church on Sundays. Ever since I was young, when I was 8 years old, I'm a born again Christian. So people will learn that about me. That's not known. And I go to church on Sundays. I try to follow the Bible when I
yeah,
can. And I know that's not the common thing today, and everybody gets nervous talking about that. But I'm like, yeah, I'll defend my faith all day.
mm,
I'm not that hating kind of person. I'm not gonna judge you or like hate you because you're somebody different. I'll love you just the same. Like I know
yeah.
there's all different kind of backgrounds of I'm not trying to get on religion and
No,
comfortable,
yeah,
but
no. I'm
that's
glad you're talking
probably
about this.
the that's probably the biggest thing.
Hmm.
And I make time to go to church on Sundays, and I have dedicated my life to that. And so that's one of the things I try to stand out in my videos is try to be a different person. And when people talk to me and they're like, I've had actually one guy, he approached me, he's like, hey, are you a Christian? I'm like, yeah, I am. I'll tell you all day. And so I'm not afraid to share that with the
That's
world.
amazing, dude.
And it's nothing out of judgment because everybody's gonna be like, oh, here's Nathan, he's a judgmental Christian and he hates people. And
No,
that's not
no.
true. But I'm not afraid to share that about my life. So that is a little more personal, and I
Yeah,
don't normally share that with people. And I try to keep politics and religion stuff out of my channel
yeah.
because that's not why I'm there. I'm there to have fun and make World of
Hmm.
Warcraft content, but that would probably be the biggest thing.
I had you've just made me think of something. I had one day when I was streaming, I had
Uh
one
huh.
person reach out and they said, "Hey, we just want to let you know, um, you're you're on like the list of Christian content creators that
Really?
we watch." And like
Wow.
I'm Christian, but like I don't really go to church very often
Yeah.
at all, like or anything like that. I'm just very dip the toe in every now and again, so to speak, if that makes sense.
Awesome. That's
Um,
great.
when overly personal, but my mum died very young. And
Sorry.
my grandma and granddad died very similar time as well. So
Hmm.
they're all buried together. So I like to go visit them often and see them and stuff like that. So I believe in that type of way. And they popped up as you are a Christian YouTube gaming creator, so our children watch you. So we promote your channels across like a whole network of creators.
Wow.
And I had no
That's
idea.
cool.
I'd never ever mentioned in any of my videos that I was Christian or anything like that. But
Hmm.
they had just came across my channel and had done that, which was crazy. It's how I got my first few like load of viewers on Twitch was from that.
Yeah, and normally I don't talk about it because it's like
Hmm.
I'm not there to throw it in people's face. I just if people ask, I'll tell them. If not, I don't. I just continue on the YouTube channel. Like some
Yeah.
people have asked me, and I've sent prayers for people and
Oh,
stuff like that. So,
that's so
but
sweet,
yeah, that
dude.
would probably be the most thing that people would be like, "Oh crap, I didn't know that about him." But I'm not perfect. Yeah, as you can
Yeah.
tell, I make mistakes. I I'm messed up, and I need Christ in my life. So I'm happy to share that with the world. And
Oh, that's
I'm not
awesome.
a perfect person. So
Nathan, it's so good to actually like get to know you personally like this. It's kind of like nice to I call it breaking the fourth wall. It's nice
yes,
to actually get to know people on a personal basis, not just as a YouTuber,
yes,
Because
yeah, absolutely,
you wouldn't ever know this stuff about someone who's just talking to you in a
yeah.
professional sense.
Absolutely. And
Um,
the sad part, if I may say, in the world is like when people share a lot of personal stuff, will be like, oh, I didn't know that about him. Okay, I'm not because of that.
hmm
And that's really sad because it's like, where's all the love in the world? Like, why can't people believe differently or think differently? Or I don't know. It's just my own personal view right now is I wish that more people were open to just share what's on their heart and um, share what they want to share, and
Yeah.
don't be afraid to do it. So, I hope I don't push people away saying what I
No,
just
you
said,
won't.
but
Don't
that's
worry.
okay. I'm not afraid to share it. So
No, you'd have to be really ignorant in order to like just be pushed away just because you heard someone's
yes,
like religion. It just doesn't make sense.
yeah,
I
and
can't
you're not
imagine
gonna
people are
find
watching
one.
this and thinking that.
Yeah, and you're not gonna find 1 ounce of religion on my YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you're not gonna go there and get that shoved in your face. Like, that's
yeah,
just my own personal beliefs, and that's just the way I'm gonna live my
yeah. You
life.
shouldn't
But
be
I'm not
ashamed
gonna
about
judge
that.
others.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's a great thing. It builds
so
character as well. Um,
definitely.
if you could explore like any game or world outside of World of Warcraft, where would you go and
Mm.
why?
Ah, man, like doing OOB another game.
Yeah, like maybe not even OOB. Like OOB is fantastic, but you also like you just explore the game as well. You know,
Yeah. Oh man, that's so
it can
tough.
be OOB if that's what you prefer.
Trying to think now.
It's okay. If
Um,
you weren't allowed to do World of Warcraft, you were to do it any other game or world or something like that. Where would you be and where would you go?
well, I'll be real honest with you. Before I got into WoW, I was addicted to League of Legends for years. I was a huge League of Legends player. So I'm still looking forward to the League of Legends MMO that's supposed to be coming out by Riot,
Yeah.
but they apparently delayed it and it's having problems now. And so will it ever come out? I don't know. So I would love to explore that world when it comes out and break their game as well. um, but yeah, it'd probably be getting back into League and just explore more of that lore and stuff because I started in League of Legends back in early season 2 when Zyra was released. So I'm a big veteran. I just quit playing like last year because I got tired of it. I couldn't deal with the community. As you know, I don't know if you ever got into League of Legends, but
Yeah, I
it's
have.
very harsh. The community is very toxic
Yeah.
and it's very tough to get into and learn. And it consumed my life for many years. And
Hmm.
I'm very proud to say I reached Diamond 3, my highest rank in the game back in
That's
season
sick.
4. And so I climbed the ladder very heavily. That was back when I was a teenager and I could play 10 hours a day without responsibilities. Why my parents ever let me get away with that, I have no idea. But that was a lot of fun. And so for League, I thought for the longest time was going to be my con. But the problem is it's a very oversaturated market. And I don't think League is where I want to go. Obviously, I want to do World of
Hmm.
Warcraft. But if I had to explore any more world, that would probably be League of Legends.
Yeah.
And if I didn't do League, I don't know what I would do, honestly. Probably focus on my I have another channel, but it only has like 2 subs and I never
Yeah.
told anybody about it. It's called Boomer Shooter HD and I love like boomer shooters. I love like first person shooters like retro
Yeah.
arcade and stuff like that. So I'd probably do something with
Are
that,
you thinking like
honestly.
Serious Sam type shooters?
Yes,
Yeah.
just
Okay.
like
I
that.
thought so. Yeah.
That and what was one I just played recently?
Like
Oh,
Doom.
Forgive Me, Father. That's a really
Okay.
good one.
Yeah.
Doom. Yeah, Doom's another good. Yeah, so stuff like that, basic.
Yeah.
I put just like first person shooters, but they're like more arcadey. So
Got you. Got you. Got you. Wow.
I'd probably be doing that honestly if I didn't do World of Warcraft or I didn't do League. So
I was playing League of Legends so much with like I'm a guild master in my guild, right?
hmm
And my right hand man is the raid leader of the guild. And
okay.
we used to play League of Legends after every single raid. Like we do 2 or 3 games on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights after raid. But the problem was, dude, I've got this thing like where my ambition comes out and my competitiveness comes out. I kind of like
Mm,
keep it I keep it behind the scenes, like wrapped up. But I'm an extremely competitive person if I get into the right situation. And
okay.
League of Legends brought that out in me, and it started to ruin my channel because I just focused only on playing League all the time, and I was
Okay.
struggling to do anything else. So I just had to like one day to say, look, you aren't very good at controlling yourself. We're just gonna
Mm,
uninstall this game, and we aren't ever gonna play it again. And it's
good
just
for you.
that's the way we approach life, unfortunately. And it's
You know what?
I miss
I
it, but
applaud you
I
because
had
that's a
to.
hard first step.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, that's a hard first step.
I'm
So
not very
that's
good
awesome. I
at
mean,
like slowing down with stuff. I have to like just cold turkey
go
stop.
all in.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, Yeah.
That's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's different, you know. And I personally never had like big rage. Like I never raged or, was
Yeah.
mad with it.
Yeah.
I did get upset here and there, but it never like even my videos that people see who I am on recording is who I am in real life. I'm
Yeah.
happy. I just laugh at everything. I am always joking around with my
Hmm.
sometimes too much with my wife because she gets mad. But, I'm a
We've all been
go-getting
there,
person.
buddy.
Yeah. I'm joyful and I try to just, spread love to the world and do my best outside of YouTube. So who you see I am on camera, I am in real life. So
That's awesome. That
yeah.
you do have a little bit of a competitive edge, though, right?
Yes,
You
some
like League
games
of
I do.
Legends.
I did, and I liked League of Legends for the competitiveness.
Yeah.
And that's why I played so much of it. And then it just got tiring. I
Yeah.
played for 10 years plus and I'm like, I can't do this no more. So
Hmm. It also gets to a point, where your friends start to move on to doing other things.
yeah,
You're still doing the same
exactly.
thing.
So who do you play with then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, big time.
Everybody moves on.
Well, my friend, I have run
Yeah.
out of questions there. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you, Nathan. It really has.
Thank you. You too.
You joined GamingHero.io, the
Yes.
community, a little while back, and
Yes.
just as an affiliate. And since getting to know you, it's just been such a good time, and
Awesome.
it's been awesome to get to see your content. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here on the episode 2 of the Gaming Hero podcast. I appreciate your time, dude.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I appreciate you having me on the podcast anytime.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me. It's been an absolute blast to sit here, and I got to get to a death run here in a little bit. So
Gaming Heroes, please do me a massive favor and go check out Nathan's content, All Things Nerd. The links are in the description. Please go ahead and subscribe to him. Make sure you hit that bell icon. He is an awesome content creator and you will love his content. Join his Discord, join his community, become a member if you can. And thank you so much for being here, Nathan. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you to GamingHero.io for sponsoring this podcast. As always, it's awesome to have this platform. And if you like this video, leave us a comment in the section below. Let us know who you want to see in the future podcast episodes. Thanks for watching.
Awesome.
This is Erosium and All Things Nerd out.
Take care.